everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome to a brand new series in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. For those of you who don't know me, I have a brief but very productive history of ClanGen content, spanning over 200 videos, which you can all find on my channel if you're interested. And for those of you who are coming straight from the miserable end of Luminous Clan, hello and welcome! Let's try and have a happier time here. Some quick things about me when it comes to ClanGen. One, I have my own specific setup for how I like to play my clans, so if something doesn't make sense, just bear with me. I'll explain it all in time, but I promise it's what makes the game fun for me. Two, I love stories oriented around bloodlines and prioritize breeding within the clan before allowing outsiders to enter and diversify our blood. This also means lineage takes precedent over age, so please don't let that bother you too much. And three, I like getting to know my cats, which means I cap the clan at around 25 cats and have a strict management system for when and who they're allowed to breed with. And to make every birth more special, each cat is only allowed to have one litter regardless of size. If that's something that strikes your fancy, then come right along as we start a brand new clan. I'm so excited. Okay. We're gonna do expanded mode because it is way too fun with the illnesses and the injuries and the permanent conditions and herb gathering and treatment and fresh kill pile and nutrition system, which kill a Luminous Clan in the end, but you know, it's fun. So okay, I need to set the scene. You guys already know the name of the clan at this point because like it's in the video title, but let me set the scene. For too long, the cats of the forest have been scattered, with straggling loners, bands of rogues, and floundering outsiders who know nothing of the ancient ways of their home. But enough, says a group of cats granted wisdom by StarClan. Enough of this fussing like rodents on the forest floor. Waking from a vivid dream of a golden future, 10 cats of the forest gather in a forgotten grotto to establish the royal bloodlines and declare a ruler of their new kingdom. And so begins Royal Clan, an answer to the weaklings who call themselves feline, but do not have the iron in their blood to stand tall and rule the world. Here begins a new age of royals. So that's right, we are going to be playing with Royal Clan. I pop the name in, there we go. And kitty cats! Time for our kitty cats! Now, I don't want us getting attached to who I pick right now as the leader, deputy, medicine cat, all of that. It won't matter. I'm gonna reconfigure it when we get into the actual game, because right now we just need to select the 10 cats. We need the 10 cats who are like going to the grotto to meet each other right now, right, to establish the royal bloodlines. And then once they're at the grotto, then they're going to appoint a ruler and the other roles. Also, in terms of the roles that we have, instead of playing with like the typical roles, instead of a leader, I will have a ruler who is either going to be the king or queen. And then I'm going to have a right hand instead of a deputy. We'll have a royal physician instead of the medicine cat. And we'll have a diplomat instead of the mediator. At the end of the day, they're just like different names for the way that I want to play. But, you know, in this particular world and story that I have set up, I like the sound of it. It makes sense. So, okay, guys, I'm going to roll the dice 3 times over here. And then we're going to kind of see the cats that we have to work with, even though these ones look really pretty. 1, 2, 3, and these are the cats that we're going to be starting off with. They look exciting. Let's see. So we have Ferntail over here, a male senior adult who is loyal, incredibly clever, and a good climber. We have Cloudkit, a female kitten who is unruly and a lover of stories. We have Ferret Kit, a male kitten who is polite and interested in clan history. We have Canary Moon, a male senior who is cold, helpful insight, and learner of lore. We have Crowbellow, a male senior adult, compassionate, great storyteller. Waterfur, a male senior, lonesome, good speaker, and good kid sitter. I've already done this. Hold on a second. Mink Whisper, a female adult, calm with keen eye. Burnet Water, a male senior adult who is grumpy, a lawkeeper, and a good hunter. We have Icicle Kit, a male kitten who is sweet and a lover of stories. We have Buttercup Russell, a female adult who is sneaky and a fish-like swimmer. We have Flailstorm, a male adult who is childish and a good kid sitter. And we have Pipit Dusk, a male adult who is wise, an incredible runner, and good fighter. So I'm going to take a closer look at these cats, and then I'm going to select the 10 that I take with me into Royal Clan, or the 10 cats that are going to meet up in the grotto. Okay, I've had a look at the cats and decided who I want to take along with me to the grotto. Now, some of these names I might end up changing once I'm actually in the game. But first up, we have Waterfur, who is coming with us. Then we have Canary Moon, who is coming with us. We have... Where is he? Where is he? Where are you? Burnout Water, there we go. We have Burnout Water who's coming with us. We have Crowbellow as well. Ferntail. Pipit Dusk. Let's see, Flailstorm. Buttercup Russell. Mink Whisper. And Icicle Kit. So these are the 10 cats who are going to gather in the grotto. And then from there, we are going to see, you know, who becomes ruler and what are the different roles that are assigned to the cats. So the place that I wanted to play around with was in the forest. I have done a clan, like I have a series already on the beach. We did Feather Clan with the shipwreck, and I also have done Luminous Clan in the Crystal River. But now I want to mess around with the forest because, you know, the different backgrounds that we have, they do have unique scenarios and prompts, and I haven't played around with the forest before, so I'm very intrigued by that. So I want to go ahead and do the grotto. Now, one thing I'm realizing is that I completely forgot to do, like, switch over to light mode, which is what we're going to be playing in, instead of sticking to the dark mode over here. So right now, the grotto is pretty dark, but don't worry, it's going to lighten up quite a bit. But this is the grotto in New Leaf, Green Leaf, Leaf Fall, and Leaf Bare. But again, when it's brighter, there'll probably be more of a difference going on. But that's the background that we want, or the camp we want. And as for what my symbol is going to be for Royal Clan, I didn't really think too hard about this. I haven't really looked much. So let's see if we can... Let's see, what do we have going on over here that I might want for my lovely Royal Clan? Let's see, I mean, this hut is kind of cute. This haven, I mean, it's a bit of a haven. That haven is a nice symbol that we have going on. I do like that. What's this, Fluffy? That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I like the haven though. The haven kind of looks nice. I mean, to be honest, so does the fluff. I'm not gonna lie. So does the fluff. What is this? Yep, we have an elder cat. I mean, this is kind of cool. We have cats like ruling over other cats. And then we have, you know, the crouch. I think maybe the crouch. I might actually go with the crouch over here for our royal cats. I think I like that one. Okay. So this is what we have right over here. Now we're at the grotto. I just realized I need to go ahead. Guys, we need to save clan. I need to, like, turn off dark mode. That's right. Because these backgrounds, you know, they look different when you have the different modes on. But this is, ooh, look how pretty everything is. This is what I wanted to play in. I wanted the grotto in light mode when everything looks so bright and pretty and nice. Okay, well. Let's go ahead and get into some explanatory stuff for the way things are going to work so that, you know, our time with the cats goes along quite smoothly. Okay, the first thing I want to do is dive into the cat list and introduce us to our cats now that I have their roles assigned and I also have them renamed, because some of the other stuff I want to talk about is going to flow from that. And also, I think it'll be nice to take a closer look at their genetics and to see what we're working with. So, our ruler and king that has been appointed by all the other royals is Canary Star. So Canary Star over here is a senior male with cobalt eyes and a rosette pelt. He is a cold leader with helpful insights and a learner of lore. So one of the things that I do with my leaders is go ahead and choose a focus for the clan. And the focus only changes every time we have a new ruler or the new leader come into power, because it makes sense to me that they, depending on their personality, decide how the clan is going to conduct themselves. So he is a very cold royal. Now, based on that, I'm wondering, right, what is he going to want to do? I don't know if he would threaten outsiders. I mean, he is cold. It feels more like he would ignore outsiders, no? I think so. I don't think he would be warmongering. What if he was sabotaging other clans, though? I don't know. I don't know if he would sabotage other clans. Yeah, threatening. I don't think he would be threatening. His cold. Yes, his cold. Raiding is a bit too much. Sabotaging, I think, is a bit too playful. Maybe he would be selfish as like a cold leader. He would be selfish and hoard resources. Actually, no, this makes sense, because when you stockpile things, you do it regardless of clan safety. So injuries and illnesses increase. That makes sense to me that our current king, Canary Star, is so cold. He only cares about getting things done, more resources, more power. And he doesn't really care about who gets ahead in the process. So his focus is going to be hoarding resources. And then we have his right hand, who is Watergale over here. Watergale is a senior male with blue eyes and a smoke pelt. He is lonesome, a good speaker, and a good kit sitter. Then we have Smokewater over here, who is our royal physician. He's a senior adult with heather blue eyes, a smoke pelt. He is grumpy, a lawkeeper, and a good hunter. So he obviously is going to have to hunt for some herbs so that our herb stores can get even richer. Ferntail is our diplomat. So he is kind of new. I mean, they're all new when it comes to this, but he is our diplomat, a senior adult with cyan eyes, a marbled pelt. He is loyal, incredibly clever, and a good climber. And then we have the other warriors of the clan. So we've got Crow Pelt, who is a senior adult male with bronze eyes, a Bengal pelt. He's compassionate, a great storyteller. We have Goldusk, who is an adult with blue eyes, a smoke pelt. I'm seeing a lot of blue eyes and smoke pelt. He is wise, an incredible runner, and a good fighter. We have Buttercup Fin, a female adult who has sunlit ice eyes. She's a tortie. She's sneaky and a fish-like swimmer, which is why she's got that name, Buttercup Fin. We have Scorch Moss. So she is an adult with amber eyes, a rosette pelt. She's calm. She has a keen eye. We have Flailstorm, who is an adult with gold eyes, a single color pelt. He is childish and a good kid sitter. And then, of course, we have Icicle Kit, who is a young male with blue eyes, a Bengal pelt. He's really sweet and a lover of stories. So these are the cats that we are working with and starting off with. And I am realizing, I think out of our 10 cats, I only have 2 females and I have 8 males. Oh my goodness, so many males, not enough females, but that's okay. That's okay. We need to try and breed within the clan until we can no longer breed within the clan and the royal bloodlines are at risk and we'll start bringing in outsiders. But speaking of outsiders, I need to go into a bit more detail regarding that. So guys, like I said, this is our royal clan. Now, when we go out on patrol and we come across outsiders, those outsiders, right, that we come across are not going to ever join a royal clan. Those outsiders might temporarily be brought into the grotto and then guided to what we will call servant clan, which is going to be the cats outside the clan over here. But in our story, basically, servant clan is going to be the group of cats that are directly subservient to our royals, but they don't live within the grotto itself. They live around the grotto, out in the forest, and they basically serve our cats, right? So in the future, what's going to happen is that when we start getting too closely related and we can't breed the royals within royals anymore, then the royals will start picking servants from servant clan and they will bring them into the grotto. They'll elevate them to the status of nobility, and then those nobles will breed with our royals to create more royals, because nobility is not going to get passed down through blood, only royalty will. So that's one thing I had to get out of the way. The other thing, in terms of like our grander world on the outside, if we go to the leader's den, so all of these other clans that we have, Snowy Clan, Liar Clan, Ice Clan, Storm Clan, Down Clan, also Liar Clan, I'm watching you. Why do you have the same clan symbol as us? Huh? Okay, that aside, these other clans are actually small groups of cats that want independence from our kingdom of royals. So they exist within our kingdom in the forest, but it's almost like us putting down dissidents if we ever go into war with them, or us choosing to, keep them as allies, but basically put up with their existence within our forest. But these are cats who don't want to bow down to the royals. They don't want to be part of Servant Clan, and they have decided that they're going to form their own little independent groups and communities. But that's basically who we're dealing with when we talk about the other clans around us. But technically, they all live within our forest, our kingdom, that Royal Clan owns. So that's something we have going on. Now that I have spoken through all of that, we definitely want to be talking a little bit about the breeding. So I think I've already mentioned this, but I only breed my cats like once, or not, like I should say, they're only allowed to have one litter. That's a better way of saying it. They're only allowed to have one litter for males and females, regardless of the litter size. And typically the way I keep my cats is that I make sure that everyone is prevented from having kits, and then the ruler or the leader basically pairs up cats and decides who's going to have kits with who. Now, these pairings, regardless of their romantic connections, are always made for the future of the clan for the sake of breeding. But if a pair decides that they don't want to have kids with each other and they break up, then I won't ever force them to get back together. I'll find a new match for them. But once they have a litter, regardless of who it's with, that's it for them. They don't have another litter. Even if all their children end up dying, they never have another litter. So that's the way I like to make things work. Games like fun for me that way. Okay, so all of that I have said, I think we have a clear idea of how this is going to go, of how we are going to progress. What I want to do now is actually check up on loyalties. So this is also something that I do. And basically the way I do that is that every moon I check through the relationships for all the cats, and I go into relationships, and basically if the leader is one of the first 4 cats up here for a cat, then it means that the leader is close enough to them that they will be loyal to the leader. And that's how I basically assign my loyalties, and that gives us a good idea of how the cats feel about their current king or queen. So I actually need to go ahead and do that. We'll come back, take a look, then we'll also make our first match for breeding. We need to do mediation. The only time I use mediation, or in this case the diplomat, right? The only time I use that is, or I've been calling it a diplomat, but I wonder if we should call them the matchmaker. Actually, I might change the name of the diplomat, guys. Instead of a diplomat, we might call them matchmaker, because the only time I ever use mediators is to increase relationship between couples so they can give us kittens. That aside, I never use mediators. So I think I might call them the matchmaker. Good idea. Brilliant. So we'll do that, and then we can look through what everyone's doing for the day and move on to patrols. But give me a second and I'll be right back. Okay, let's take a look at loyalties. And oh my goodness, I didn't realize how hard it is to see loyalties when you're in light mode as opposed to dark mode. But loyalties, I don't know if you guys can even see that, but we have Smokewater, Ferntail, Crowpelt, and Flailstorm, who are loyal to the current leader. And I suppose that is a way of us kind of showing that, or the clan showing that these cats are the ones who truly believe that Canary Star is the rightful king and that he is a good king for the royals and the kingdom. Whereas the other cats, they're not so sure about Canary Star being the king, and they're not so sure that Canary Star, being a cold ruler who's focused on hoarding resources at the cost of everyone else, is the type of person they want in power. But it's kind of interesting to take note because Canary Star's right hand doesn't really believe in him as the ruler. However, his royal physician and his matchmaker has a lot of faith in him. So in that regard, I'm glad for Canary Star that most of our political ranks are on his side. And this is something I forgot to mention, but the way I like to do the 4 kind of major roles, which, we have ruler, right hand, royal physician, and matchmaker, I treat them as the political ranks. And the way it happens is I prioritize, and this happens in breeding too, but the older cats in breeding, because I don't want to miss out on genetics, I don't really care about age. And when it comes to politics, it's because it makes sense to me, the older cats get, the wiser they get, they have more to give when it comes to leading the clan, right? So what happens is as they get older, they enter politics by becoming, in this case, a matchmaker, and then they get promoted to a royal physician, and then they're going to get promoted to the right hand, and if they're lucky and they don't retire, they might end up becoming the ruler themselves. Now also, I have to talk about the like children in terms of princes and princesses. So princes and princesses will not work the way you normally think they would with royals. So a king or queen's child is not going to be called the prince or princess because all of these cats are considered royals, right? It's just that the king or the queen are leading among royals. The way we assign the title of prince or princess is something I like to do with the apprentices. So when we have apprentices, whoever is the best of their batch on their 11th moon, because apprentices, they become warriors at 12 moons old. So the 11th moon is the last moon that they will be apprentices. I basically check their experience points all the time, and it's more fun if we have like 2 or more apprentices in one go, like in a litter. But basically, whoever is the best of their batch, when they become a warrior, they get awarded the title of prince or princess. So for example, with Icicle Kid, because he is an only child and he is going to be the only apprentice in his batch, for sure he's going to get the title of prince. So when he becomes a warrior, he'll have his warrior name, but he will also be known as the Icicle Prince. And that title is supposed to show that you are an elite among royals, because you, along with being royal, based on your merits and your skills and your experience, also are known as a prince or princess. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, that's fine. We'll figure it out as we play. But that's one thing we have going on. So let me go ahead and make our match. So Canary Star, our ruler, our leader, he is going to take on a mate from one of the only 2 females that we have available. So Canary Star, hold on a second, this is not where I want to go. Canary Star is actually going to take on Buttercup Fin as his mate. So he is cold and she is sneaky, and apparently this is a compatible match. So gonna have to see how this works out in the long run. But this is who he has decided to take on as his mate. I need to make sure I go ahead and allow them to have kits. And it's funny because she's not loyal to him. So she doesn't see him as a good king. Maybe that's another way. Instead of, I guess we have loyalties, but the other way to interpret loyalties is like the impression they have on the leader. And Buttercup Fin, she doesn't have a good impression of the king, right? But we'll have to see if this might change now that they have mates. Obviously, this is just, at this point, a formal arrangement, but they are compatible based on their personalities. So I've got that, and then we need to dive into the matchmaker Ferntail, who is going to have a first, matchmaking session with these 2. So I also like to use this as a way to kind of see how Canary Star and Buttercup Fin might be feeling about each other towards this pairing. So mediate. Okay, so respect, romantic interest, comfort, trust, platonic like increased, dislike, and jealousy has decreased. So that kind of tells me that Canary Star is very happy with Buttercup Finn as his mate and as the cat that he has chosen to have his litter with. And I think now that he's gotten to know her a little bit more and is seeing her kind of sneaky side, he's thinking to himself that she has a very appealing personality and way of doing things, which he kind of admires and appreciates, especially when he's thinking of hoarding all those resources. He's thinking of ways that she can sneak into those small communities of cats who have decided they don't want to live under the royals and kind of take their resources from them, and it's making him excited. So that's kind of fascinating. And it feels like Buttercup Finn has also started seeing the king in a new light after getting to know him a little bit better and seeing how much he is appreciating her sneaky streak. So I like this. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with that. So okay, that's what we have going on here. Let's see what all the cats are doing for the day. And I'm gonna be confused as heck with some of these names because obviously they rolled what they were doing before I change their names, so I might not even know who they're interacting with. But Canary Star is worried others are judging him, right, as the cold leader. But Canary Star, I think you just need to bulldoze your way through and see how things go. For now. I mean, it hasn't even been a moon, you know? But at the end of the day, he is cold. So I feel like even if he's worried others are judging him, he wouldn't care enough to change his behavior. He's gonna go through with what he thinks should be done. And he does have helpful insight. So maybe there is a reason why he's choosing to focus on hoarding resources for us and setting up, a royal clan. Watergale is teaching Canary Star about the small details of being a leader. Look at that. So his right hand, his lonesome right hand, who is a good speaker and a good kid sitter, he's giving advice to his king about ways he can be even better than he is right now, which is fascinating because Watergale, we know, does not have a good impression on the king, but maybe following some of this advice, which I don't even know if the king is going to, but following some of this advice might be good. Smokewater saw a yappy little dog today. Ferntail tries to set a good example for younger cats. Crowpelt can't wait to take a nap later. Goldusk is picking the birds from his pelt. Buttercup Finn tries to set a good example for younger cats. So who are you hanging out with? You are hanging out with Ferntail. Okay, look at that. That's kind of cool. So Buttercup Finn is hanging out with the matchmaker after her matchmaking session with the king. And they're both trying to set a good example for the younger cats. And it's kind of cool if they get along because I feel like Ferntail might influence Buttercup Finn to see the king in a better light. Scorchmoss wonders how, I think that was Smokewater, how Smokewater is doing. Our grumpy, this is kind of fascinating, our grumpy royal physician. So who knows? I wonder if she has an eye on him because she is a calm female and he is a grumpy male. So you never know. That's interesting. Flailstorm is regretting not going to sleep earlier. Icicle Kit got caught in a sudden downpour and is not happy about it. Don't worry, Icicle Kit. It's okay. You can just go dry off in the mosses, in the grass. So that is all that we have for our cat list. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with patrols. Okay, it is time for us to resume with our patrols. Now, the way that I like doing things over here. So I usually send out my medicine cat first alone. They do their own thing, gather their stuff, come back. And then I always randomize my patrols. I like sending max amount in a patrol as possible. So depending on the amount of cats we have, we fill out as much as we can, and then if we have, stragglers, then they go out in smaller patrols. But unless I get a notice in events that says my clan doesn't have enough, prey for the next moon, I just leave patrol type to random, and the cats who go out together are random. I feel like it makes for more exciting stories, personally, for me. So first up, we're going to send out our grumpy royal physician, Smokewater, to see what he can get on his own. New Leaf has brought new life to Royal Clan's territory, and Smokewater heads out to gather fresh mallow for the stores. Proceed. The soft, rose-like scent of the mallow bushes drifts around Smokewater as he works. He snips off clumps of large, fuzzy, three-nubbed leaves and the occasional pink flower to be taken back to camp. So mallow was gathered, and then it seems we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 1. So we'll go ahead and do that. So let's see who's going to go out first of all. I'm very excited because, you know, it's the forest, it's a new background, a new map. I can't wait to see the kind of things we're going to come across. But okay, here we go. Also, I think I mentioned when I was playing Luminous Clan that in Luminous Clan, I have never had a medicine cat actually die from something, from collecting stuff. But obviously, I started Luminous Clan, was it in January or December? I think I started in December. But after that point, I actually, off camera in my own time, was playing through other clans, and in those saves, I had medicine cats that could actually die from things like falling down from oak trees when collecting oak leaves and such. So I wonder if there was an update or something that happened in between, but it wasn't affecting my Luminous Clan save, but it might affect my Royal Clan save since I'm making this now. It's new. So I'm a bit worried. Medicine cats. If you guys have experience in your own games of medicine cats dying on their patrols, please let me know. Because on the channel videos, the clan that I was doing on camera, I never had that problem. But playing off camera, I have seen that happen. So I'm a little bit kind of worried. But okay, first up we have Scorch Moss, Crowpelt, Flailstorm, our King Canary Star, our right-hand Watergale, and we have Goldusk, who is going out. Right, so let's send these guys out and see what they get up to. Goldusk calls the patrol to him, explaining his plan. An abandoned two-leg nest has been spotted on the territory by the border patrols, brimming with rats. It would be the perfect place for some new leaf hunting. And I forgot to check how much prey we have, but it's okay, we'll go do that in a second. Proceed. Goldusk leads the patrol towards the nest, pushing past the rotting wood blocking the entrance. The patrol gets to work rounding up and piling up the rats, and by nightfall, they have so much it takes 2 trips to bring them back. Goldusk is congratulated for his ingenious plan. So already Goldusk, one of our young warriors, is standing out to the other cats for taking charge of hunting and doing a really good job. So we brought back a medium amount of prey. We currently have 103.2 prey. We only need 25, so we are living in an abundant time. And finally, Buttercup Fan is going out on her own, which has me a little bit worried because I don't know what she's going to come across in this forest. And the fact that she is our king's, newest mate, or first mate. Mate, period. So I'm a little bit worried. Buttercup Fan finds a nice spot to sun herself. Okay, she's fine. Proceed. Just the place to warm up. Buttercup Fan stretches, claws digging into the ground as she soaks up the warmth into her muscles. Okay, so that was a really good day out for our cats. I think our hunting party had some time to bond. Obviously, the royal physician familiarized himself with the forest around the grotto where he could find some stuff. The hunting party, they really had a good hunt, and Goldusk actually stood out among that party. One for finding the two-leg nest with the rats, and then having a plan to basically hunt down all those rats. So that's really cool of him. And Goldusk is he's our wise warrior, right? Who's an incredible runner and a good fighter. So it was nice to see some of that wisdom at play. Now I'm thinking, guys, what I'm going to do actually, now that we have set up the clan, we've met the clan members, we know how we're going to play, all of that, I'm actually going to play off camera until we get our first pregnancy notice. And then we can jump back in and continue the story and see what happens. And if anything major happens while we're away, then I'm going to make sure that I note all of that down and I can give you guys a recap when we come back. So okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.